this gun just came in this week, and it's a Walther PPKs, and it was made in West Germany. We looked at the gun, we looked at the serial number, and we found out it was made in 1973, so it's a 50-year-old gun. And looking at it, we realized this gun had not been fired. This is your safe queen. So we had the gun, the weather was terrible, but we still went out, we had to shoot it anyway. So we took the little PPKs out, and it actually taught us a lot about the gun, because we're unfamiliar with it, but also taught us a little bit something about each other and how we handled the gun. But you'll see that when I shoot it, I handled it one way. When John Henry shot it, he handled it completely differently, and it goes. We had some user error issues too.
All right, we're out here enjoying the Oregon weather, but I just wanted to get that little that Walther PPKs. I want to take it out and shoot it. We're shooting 380. I've got a steel target. See what we can do with it. All right, we are hot.
So for some reason, the gun failed to fire. And the first thing I did is I ejected the round. You saw that. I'm used to shooting a 1911 single action semi-automatic. And then when John Henry had the same problem, well, watch and see what he does. He had the same problem. For some reason, we haven't figured it out yet. We think maybe he used soft hand or something, but the gun failed to fire. Instead of ejecting the round, he just pulled the trigger again. After all, it's a double action. Just pull the trigger again. Never occurred to me, and for him it seemed to be second nature. So you can see the father and son used to shooting different guns. I've said before that this FEG PA-63 was a copy of the PPK, and I was mistaken when I said that. If we look at this, this PPKs right next to him, and you'll see that the FEG is quite a bit larger. A little bigger grip frame, a little bit longer barrel. It's just a little bit bigger gun. And I wanted to compare the two and see which one handled better, shot better, felt better.
I'm going to shoot that FEG, which is a little bit bigger, a little larger frame, a little bigger pistol. We'll compare the two. Very similar.
Well, the two guns look very similar, but one thing I noticed right off is the sights. When shooting this FEG, I had to really work hard, really focus, really concentrate on that front sight just to pick it up, and I actually was able to shoot pretty well with it, but it took a lot of effort. With this Walther, it has a rear white post and the white front dot, and it was much easier to pick up. It was much easier to keep on target, much easier to reacquire the target. So it was much easier to shoot accurately with the Walther.
You can see here the sights that I was talking about. Much easier to acquire the sights from that Walther versus the FEG, and the FEG is significantly longer. It's a full 1 inch longer barrel, but the controls, everything else is going to be the same. But like I said, this just feels a little bit better made, a little heavier maybe. When the slide moves, there's less give, there's less play, less, I don't want to say slop, because neither gun is sloppy, but it's just maybe a little better quality.
In the past, I've kind of overlooked the 380 as a viable round. Thought it was always too small, too weak, too wimpy. Never really gave it any real attention. And now, as I've matured, as I've gotten older, I see there is a purpose for it. There's a role for it. It's not a full 9mm. The 380 is called a 9mm short. So even though it's the same diameter bullet, it does have less powder behind it, less power behind it. So if you're looking for the performance of a 9mm, no, it's going to be less than that. But is it, is it a 22? No, it's much more. It's still a center fire 9mm round. And if you're going to carry concealed, if you're looking for a tuxedo gun, that's probably the caliber you're going to be looking into. A 9mm may be just too big and for certain types of concealment. So the 380 does have its role, and I think this Walther kind of fills a little niche maybe in the category of tuxedo guns.